Hello everyone and welcome to August. It's so much easier and I don't get in trouble with the dates anymore. Welcome to Mystic Moonstones. I nearly said Mystic Moonstones, that probably suits me better. But welcome to Mystic Moonstones monthly angel card reading. Let's have a look and see what the angels have in store for us in August. The first card we have is Indigo and Crystal Children. Archangel Metatron, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Okay, so we'll put that there and we'll see what comes with it. I think August is a month where you do think of children because the children are either off or in some places they're preparing to go back to school. So it's all about having the focus, isn't it, on the kids. And even if you haven't got children, you can't be off of it, can you? You go to supermarkets, they're all a little bit louder and there's a little bit more lively going on. So yeah, to me it makes sense that children would come out. And time. Okay, so maybe it's time. I always remember like when my children were at school, I was always shocked because I always heard mothers really moaning because like some holidays were coming. And I always used to think, no, this should be a really special time. You'll never get these holidays back. And, and I never stopped feeling that. And even now, with my youngest being 17, I'll still say to him, we've got to make some time in these holidays for each other. So I would say time. Make time for your kids, make time for your grandchildren, make time for your nephews and nieces, some parents do need a little bit of a break, so it may be the extended family needs to come in and just give that little bit of support. Okay, then we go to Archangel Metatron. Again, he's been very busy, isn't he? 2 packs and he's come out twice. He's the motivator of the angels, so some of you may need a little bit of motivation. Maybe you've lost your mojo. Maybe having the kids at home is making you feel like that. And it's the Heaven and Earth card. So when the Heaven and Earth card comes in quite often, it's about different fractions. Like opposites attract, opposites complementing each other. So if I was doing like a reading on a relationship and that card comes up, it would be 2 people who are very, very, very different, but they complement each other, just like heaven and earth. You couldn't really have one without the other. So let's have a look and see. But the main thing that's coming through there for me is the motivation. It's maybe getting prioritised a little bit, because sometimes that's what makes you lose your focus and lose your direction. And when you have the kids around you, whether they're your children, your grandchildren, as their nephews, nieces, sometimes it's so easy to lose that focus. What have we got now? We've got magnetism. Oh, okay, so I want to say this has moved on from the kids with this one. So, the second week of August, okay, I was talking about opposites attract. I didn't know what card was going to come out, you saw that. And we have the magnetism card, and like I was saying, sometimes opposites do attract. I know me and Mal were very, very opposite. Good example of that is I remember we once went and bought magazines to have with our coffee and we was at the checkout and he bought a magazine on guns and hunting and I had, I think it was Spirit and Destiny, one of the angel magazines, and the cashier just started laughing. So, that's a real kind of example of how different we are. We're opposites. I always say I'm the wings and he's the anchor. And so watch out for just realising that you have one of those kind of relationships around you. It may not be a romantic relationship even, it could even be a friendship. Maybe you've got a friend who really pulls you out of yourself. Maybe she brings out or he brings out the inner child in you. Maybe you're the one who does that and maybe your friend's more kind of stable. So, so sometimes we need those opposites, just like day needs night. Okay, well, we've got rid of Archangel Metatron. I was kind of wondering if he was going to do a hat trick then. And we have Archangel Uriel. He's known as the light of God. He's coming in around the 3rd, so kind of makes sense as well because as we get to the 3rd week of August, we're getting towards the end of August. People are starting to think about education, thinking about getting the kids back. I equally liked the kids going back as much as them coming, having their time off. So, there was always a sense of excitement there. Normality was coming back. You could get a routine. Okay, the Alchemist card, or it's the Alchemy card, but I always call it the Alchemist because it's about you. And it's about taking a situation and actually turning it into something good. So taking something base, getting a positive out of the negative, whatever way you want to put it. So watch out for that. He is the angel of education. He's known as the light of God, so he shines a light forward, sometimes helping you to see your way if you're in a slightly dark place. Let's go to here and see what comes out. Renewal. Now, you know, I was just talking about getting kids back, getting that kind of routine. It doesn't matter about children as well, because to be honest with you, I like to use the autumn, the end of the summer, as a time of renewal. So that makes sense. It's a time of like harvest festivals coming in, or we're looking towards it, aren't we? And, you know, and I would say as we start to get towards the end of August, you start, dare I say it, thinking towards Christmas. And it's a really good time to actually put plans in order. You know, it's a really good time to think, okay, maybe changing your wardrobe up, changing, you know, your diet. Everything's starting to change a little bit as we get towards the end of August, and it's a really good time to do that renewal. I like to buy a school diary and use that as the beginning of my year, you know, more than January. I always kind of feel like, you know, when we start new things in January, it kind of feels like we're already halfway there somehow. So to me, that kind of makes sense, that renewal, you know, pointing that direction. So maybe you're looking towards the end of August, starting a course, okay, bringing that education in. Do you see where I'm going with this? So it's like a renewal of your life, it's changing something in your life. Okay, and we have creative writing, Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is the angel of new beginnings, and we're talking about renewal, so this kind of feels like it's really kind of flowing. And it's asking you to make time to, I'll read it out because I can never remember all these. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal, or pen an article, or a book. Okay, so I was just talking about I like to get a school diary, and I like to use that. You know, maybe start a journal at that time. You know, as the leaves are starting to, they're starting to kind of lose their greenness a little bit, aren't they, as we get to the end of August? Not quite, but they're getting there. And, you know, and they're starting to get that kind of lovely gold starting to creep in. And you know they're going to shed their leaves. And you could be like that as well. You could be at this point of you're preparing, you know, for this renewal. You're preparing for what you want to bring in, and you're thinking about what you want to shed. And the best way to do that is to write down your thoughts. I mean, you know, I can't stress enough just how important journals are. Whether you're going through something or whether you're trying to get to something, you know, a journal will really help you. Okay, so write down those thoughts, you know. Don't worry about it. Nobody else has to see them. These are you, or, you know, and if you don't like writing, then, I don't know, start a Google Doc and just kind of type away every so often. Okay, where am I going? I'm going to go over here. Last card. Sacred Foal. That's an interesting card, that one. You know, and I'm not calling anybody a fool. When this card comes up, it's normally that maybe somebody else is pulling your strings. Maybe you're not pulling your own strings, or maybe you're pulling somebody else's strings, you know. It's not a bad card, but it is one where to think about what it is you want. To think, are you maybe trying to manipulate a situation that, or trying to make something into something it's never going to be? Or is somebody else trying to do that with you? And we should all be masters of our own destiny. Free will is important. So, you know, so what I would say with that card is don't try to manipulate a situation into something it can never be. And don't let somebody else do that. Try and stay your authentic self, and try and let those around you remain their authentic selves. Otherwise, the only thing you end up feeling is like a fool. You know, so for example, if you're in a relationship but you kind of think you can change that other person to make them or mould them into the person you want them to be, that's never going to happen. If you're in a relationship and somebody's trying to do that to you, again, it's never going to happen. You could try, but you won't be able to keep it up. The same with if you're in a work situation. You know, it's always important, as much as you can, to stay true to your authentic self. Otherwise somebody else is pulling your strings, you know, and you feel like a puppet, and you don't feel like you have control of your life, you know. So I would say that's really important. And, you know, when I'm looking at them two together, I would say start writing down what's important to you, because sometimes that's the only way you can actually see what's going on. It's the only way you can work out what it is that you want to do. Maybe you don't want to pull away from that person, but you just want them to know the truth about you, so sometimes writing it down can help as well. Okay, but as I said, I'm not calling anybody a fool. I think that card just kind of, it comes up, when it comes up in a reading, it's normally about thinking about who's pulling your chain, or if you're the one pulling somebody else's chain, and chains really shouldn't be pulled. But anyway, with that, I will say love and laughter to you all. I will be doing weekly videos, so they're non-bling, they'll just be like a little video. It goes up on each Monday, hopefully, so we can sort of break down things and see what else comes in. Okay. Love and laughter to you all. Bye.